Welcome to the Centregreat Podcast, where we highlight the stories behind the people who help us build stronger communities and a stronger future. At Centregreat, we're proud to have signed the Armed Forces Covenant, a pledge that reflects our commitment to supporting those who have served in the military. We recognise the unique skills, discipline and experience that ex-forces personnel bring, and we're actively focused on creating opportunities for them within our organisation. In this episode, we're shining a light on Lloyd Allen, who joined Centregreat Rail in February 2023 following an impressive 17-year career in the British Army. As a former staff sergeant, Lloyd brings a wealth of leadership, resilience and dedication to his role. But his transition to civilian life hasn't been without its challenges. Today, we share Lloyd's personal journey, what it's like to move from military service into a new career, and how he's found his place here at Centregreat. Lloyd joined the British Army at 16, after quickly realising that school and education were not the right path for him. Lloyd struggled with his GCSE exams and entered the army without qualifications or employment experience. After completing basic training, Lloyd joined a driver unit, where he served for 2 years. During this time, he completed all the driver training and went on 3 tours, 1 in Iraq and 2 in Afghanistan. Following this, Lloyd joined the Air Dispatch Squadron, initially based at RAF Leenham, before moving to RAF Breeze Norton, where he remained for the rest of his service. Lloyd married at 21 and had his first child at 22. Throughout Lloyd's military journey, he worked his way up the ranks, ultimately achieving the position of Staff Sergeant, SSGT. Lloyd agrees that along the way, he developed many skills and earned qualifications to support him later in life. Skills such as timekeeping, accountability, dedication and teamwork, including GCSEs and management qualifications, played an essential role in his career. On reflection, Lloyd never imagined his military career ending. Instead, he believed he would serve until retirement. However, his circumstances changed, and Lloyd encountered an incredibly personally challenging time that ultimately led to his decision to leave the military and begin an entirely new life-changing direction. Transitioning to civilian life was an equally challenging experience for Lloyd. Despite having valuable skills, he felt he lacked the formal qualifications that many civilian employers required. He searched the job market extensively and sought advice from fellow veterans, but initially struggled to find a place in the civilian job market without the necessary qualifications. Lloyd recalls a conversation with a family member working at Centregreat for some time. During their discussion, the family member happened to mention a potential role within the company, and they talked about the various businesses under the Centregreat umbrella. This conversation was a big lift and gave Lloyd hope that he might find a suitable hands-on position at Centregreat, an essential criterion for him. He didn't want to be confined to an office all day. At 32, Lloyd felt he still had plenty of time left in his career. Lloyd had an initial meeting with Centregreat's CEO, Jerome Matthias, to discuss the company, its background and the opportunities it could offer. He had the chance to share details of the skills he had acquired throughout his service life and how he believed he could contribute to the organisation. Lloyd was open and honest about his salary expectations and emphasised the importance of finding a role that would complement his family life. Lloyd was pleasantly surprised by Jerome's value on family and work-life balance, and was instantly optimistic about the possibilities ahead. A follow-up meeting was scheduled with Jerome to discuss various roles within the company, and together they concluded that the best fit for him would be as a general operative in the rail sector, Centregreat Rail. Lloyd was excited about this opportunity, although feeling a sense of trepidation because of his perceived lack of experience in the construction industry. Fast forward, and his first task is to complete the SMSTS course, an online training program. Before the course began, Lloyd expressed his anxiety to his wife, saying, "I can't do this. This isn't for me." However, with encouragement, he decided to complete the course without any issues. After completing his 6-month probation period, Lloyd was promoted to site supervisor, which thrilled him, and he finally felt like he was on the right path in his new chosen career. Following this, Lloyd supervised the complete update of a rail bridge into an Access for All bridge as part of the Network Rail Access for All scheme. This project lasted just over a year and gave Lloyd fresh perspective, experience and accompanying skills to strengthen his capability further in this role. It proved to be one of the most rewarding experiences of Lloyd's life, and it was fulfilling to see that he was doing well in a role he never imagined he would hold. Of course, there were ups and downs, as there are in any job, no position is 100% perfect. One significant adjustment for Lloyd was the working hours. In the military, Lloyd remembers his days were often shorter and more relaxed, with less oversight. In his new role, Lloyd transitioned to a work week of over 40 hours, where he was expected to be on site punctually and stay until the end of the workday or until set tasks were completed. Lloyd's current hours are from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Lloyd quickly had to say goodbye to the laid-back lifestyle he had in the military and embrace a more demanding role.
I always remember my wife saying to me, "Welcome to the real world." She was right. This was indeed an awakening to a new life. Civilian life.
Lloyd has played rugby throughout his life, starting at a young age and continuing to this day. He regularly participates in both rugby union and league. Lloyd was fortunate to be selected to represent Wales with the Dragonhearts Rugby League team, which included attending training camps and overseas tours. Initially, he felt anxious about this opportunity because, while the military encourages and supports participation in sports, he was uncertain about how it would be received in a civilian workplace. However, Lloyd spoke with Jerome and his line manager. To his surprise, they fully supported his participation in the games and even sponsored him. Lloyd was genuinely amazed by their generosity and didn't expect such a level of support, demonstrating that the company values more than just qualifications. While certain roles require specific credentials, the company ethos is to invest in individuals whom they believe have potential and will be the right fit, then train and develop them accordingly. Lloyd can attest to this and is going from strength to strength. Lloyd offers a parting thought on transitioning from the armed forces to civilian life and employment. It is undoubtedly a big step, perhaps the biggest in any service leaver's life. Still, he encourages anyone at this point in their lives to believe in opportunity, personal potential, and the chance of success after serving. The fact is that there are many great companies just like Centregreat out there that understand and value tremendously the skills, mindset, and capability that our armed forces personnel can bring to an organisation, and the adaptive capacity to augment existing skills and learn the new ones to thrive outside of the forces. Lloyd is thriving as part of the Centregreat organisation due to the enormous support, encouragement and investment in him and his fellow veterans. In Lloyd's words,
"I am thankful I found my light at the end of the tunnel, when I didn't think I ever would."
We hope you've enjoyed the first episode of Centregreat the podcast, where we bring you the latest news, insights, and the real stories of the people behind our success. Thank you for listening, and we look forward to sharing more about the business and the brilliant team that makes Centregreat what it is. Until next time, take care.